Hello, welcome to the shed. I am your man in the shed, Andy Pete. Hope you're all well. So we're going to continue here with Genesis. So we've already seen Adam and Eve join the earth after the Lord created the earth in just 6 days. 7th day, obviously, day of rest. That's why we have Sundays, allegedly. Hope everyone has a Sunday off. I certainly don't, but there you go. Anyway, so we've had Adam and Eve, his descendants, and now we've got to Noah, who is a descendant, of course, from Adam and Eve. Again, some of parts of this chapter, it's all about the boys. Screw the girls. Just saying. Anyway, let's go then. So, the boat has now been built, which was impressive, and we're now going to get on with the rest of it. So, chapter 7 from off of Genesis. Then the Lord said to Noah, "Go to the ark, you and your household, for I have seen that you alone are righteous before me in this generation." Genocide, the Holocaust. Sorry, Adolf, God beat you. And his was so devastating, almost nothing survived. Take with you 7 pairs of all clean animals, the male and its mate, and a pair of animals that are not clean, the male and its mate. So, here we are then. What is meant by clean animals? So there were 7 pairs, so it wasn't just 2 by 2, but 14 of each type. That boat will be so full, so full. And 7 pairs of the birds of the air, also male and female, to keep that kind alive on the face of all the earth. Okay, how deep does it actually get? Although it must have got high to drown all the trees. Where does all the water go? Where? For the 7 days I will send rain on the earth for 40 days and 40 nights, and every living thing that I have made I will blot out from the face of the ground. So these animals would have understood Hebrew, had to get there in good time, know how to get there. Australia to the Middle East. Let's not worry about the waters. It's just the vast distances to walk. No cars, no aeroplanes. And Noah did all that the Lord had commanded him. That's impressive, because God almost takes the piss how much he demanded there. Just saying. Noah was 600 years old when the flood of waters came to the earth. 600! Well, at least God made him do all this before he got too old, eh? Yeah. And Noah, with his sons and his wife and his sons' wives, went into the ark to escape the waters of the flood. How heavy would this vessel have been fully loaded? Also, what about the mess? Who's cleaning that? I bet it's the wives. 100% guarantee it's not the men, it's going to be the wives. Of clean animals, and of animals that were not clean, and of birds and everything that creeps on the ground. So somehow all of these animals get to the Middle East. Creationists can't see why others don't believe this part. How could every creature get there? 2 and 2, males and females, went into the ark with Noah, as God had commanded Noah. Did they have certain areas for different types of animals? I would want to be a zebra I wouldn't want to be a zebra in with the lions. And after 7 days, the waters of the floods came onto the earth. I guess God would be able to make it rain. This part isn't as ludicrous as the rest of this particular story. In the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth, and the windows of the heavens were open. So this flood, every piece of land was underwater, from the whole Sahara Desert and the Andes plus the Himalayas, where some mountains are over 8,000 meters high. How much water? Please explain where the waters went. where did the waters go? The rain fell on the earth 40 days and 40 nights. It was the ultimate rainfall. On the very same day, Noah with his sons, Shem, Ham and Japheth, and Noah's wives and 3 wives of his sons entered the ark. Because of course they did. Can you imagine the smell? Hope these truly were clean animals. No shitting allowed. Thank you very much. They and every wild animal of every kind, and all domestic animals of every kind, and every creeping thing that creeps on the earth, and every bird of every kind, every bird, every winged creature. So creating creatures of every kind, like bees, ants and termites, like in colonies. So 2 won't cut it. They went onto the ark with Noah, 2 and 2, all of the flesh in which there were a breath of life. Can you imagine the farting? The ship would be stinky. Also, the seasickness will become awful. Those poor wives, because they're going to be doing all the cleaning, aren't they? And those that entered, male and female of all flesh, went in as God had commanded him, and the Lord shut him in. Now, it must be feast time for the predators here, mustn't it? Imagine the lions. Ooh, great buffet. So join me every Wednesday when we look at different conspiracies and wacko beliefs in religious ideas. Please do that. Thank you very much. Now let's get back to the story. So the flood continued 40 days on the earth, and the waters increased and bore up the ark, and it rose high above the earth. It must have rose miles above the earth in some areas. Imagine if you observed that from space, the big blue becoming all-consuming. The water swelled and increased greatly on the earth, and the ark floated on the face of the waters, suffering no leaks of any kind, I guess. The water swelled so mighty on the earth that all the high mountains under the whole heavens were covered. So this must include Everest. It must have been underwater. The water swelled above the mountains, covering them 15 cubits deep. So 1 cubit is roughly 1.5 feet. So 22.5 feet above Everest. That's proper deep. This is fabulous for the fish, and all flesh died that moved on the earth. Birds, domestic animals, wild animals, all swarming creatures that swarm on the earth, and all human beings. Totally horrific genocide, total holocaust, the end of days. Nothing would have survived. Even trees would have been crushed by the water pressure. The weight would have been horrific. Everything on dry land, in those nostrils that the breath of life died. The great Lord God destroyed everything. Now, I don't have a personal problem with religion, but if your God creates a mass extinction event, where's the evidence for this? There would have been geological discoveries. There are no signs of not just a flood, but the water levels way above where they should be. He blotted out every living thing that was on the face of the ground, human beings and animals and creeping things and birds of the air. They were blotted out from the earth. Only Noah was left, and those that were with him in the ark. One of these ones didn't work out, although it's similar to evolution, as in the strongest and the fastest survived. And the waters swelled on the earth for 150 days. Where did the water go? Well, who knows? Being the Bible, I don't imagine we shall get those answers, but there you go. It's a lot of water, and it has to go somewhere. So the flood has now happened. Everything is dead except the now surely stinking ark. Could you imagine the actual pong of this boat? Hope they had some herbs to attempt to cover those smells. The whole world has flooded with unbelievably large amounts of water. That clearly isn't on our planet anymore. Where did all the water go? I ask you. It's got to have gone somewhere. It can only be so much rain. How much poo would all those animals produce? Don't care how clean you are. Everything has to poo. How much would be produced in 40 days? This surely would cause disease. I give you, for example, what happened in places like Auschwitz, the worst boat journey, but you would have possibly survived God's wrath and biblical genocide that destroyed everything. Everything. No record has been found to say this alleged flood happened, but not one of Earth's 5 mass extinction periods. The last known one was the one that killed the dinosaurs 66 million years ago, give or take a Tuesday. So it doesn't really show up. Don't really understand how people can believe in this utter nonsense. Anyway, that was the Bible from off of the Old Testament there. Chapter 7. Chapter 8, we will come to the end of the Great Flood, I am sure, and we'll see what happens to the animals. Anyway, this has been your man in the shed, Andy P. Thank you so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this biblical nonsense, shall we say. Some tales are a little bit hard to believe, and I'm going to say Noah and his ark is the one which really is utter shite. But there you go. It's a good read all the same. Go read it yourself and tell me what you think. Let me know in the comments below what you did think. I'm sure if you're religious, you would have turned this off ages ago thinking, yeah, I don't think he's really a preacher. And I'll second that and turn not a religious buff. But there you go. This has been your man in the shed, Andy P. Thank you so much for watching. And like I said earlier, do join me on Wednesdays when we look at some conspiracy theories, flat earth, nonsense like that, creationism, if that's your thing. Check it out on the channel. That would be amazing. We've also got other things on there where we've done some cooking videos. I am actually a chef, so go check them out. If you want to find something tasty to eat for your dinner, you might find something there. As I say, I have been your man in the shed, Andy P. Thank you so much for watching. See ya, pals.